Have you ever thought about this? You wake up to your car refusing to start. It's the middle of winter, and you need to get to work. The repair bill? $800. Now, imagine facing that cost without a single dollar in savings. Does your stomach drop just thinking about it? That's exactly why an emergency fund is so important, because life has a way of throwing the unexpected at you when you least expect it. Hey everyone, welcome back to InvestNest Insights, your one and only financial partner. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss out on future financial tips. Today we're talking about a topic that can literally save your financial life: emergency funds and financial safety nets. Inspired by The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, we're talking about how much you should save, where to keep it, and most importantly, how to build it. So let's get into it. What is an emergency fund? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is like your financial safety net. It's a stash of money set aside strictly for life's curveballs, unexpected medical bills, a job layoff, or that sudden car repair we talked about earlier. In the book, The Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey explains it clearly that this fund isn't for vacations or buying new gadgets. It's strictly for those moments when life decides to hit you with the unexpected. Ramsey even shares stories in the book of families who were devastated by a lack of emergency savings, which is an important reminder that this isn't just an extra, it's essential. Why do you need an emergency fund? Why is an emergency fund so important? Let me paint you a picture. You've just been laid off from your job, bills are piling up, and you've got a family to support. Without savings, you'll be forced to rely on credit cards or loans, creating a mountain of debt that could take years to recover from. In The Total Money Makeover, Ramsey calls this the debt trap. When emergencies hit and you're unprepared, it doesn't just shake you financially, it affects every aspect of your life. Here's a quick quote from the book. "The emergency fund is your shield. When life happens, you'll be ready. And he's about it. One unexpected event can completely disturb your financial stability. How much should you save?" Now, how much should you save in your emergency fund? According to The Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey recommends saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. That might sound like a lot at first, but think about it. If you lost your job today, how long would it take to find another one? During that time, your rent, utilities, and groceries aren't going to wait. Okay, just for your sake, let's calculate it. To calculate how much you need, look at your essential monthly expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, and minimum debt payments. Multiply that by 3 to 6 months, and that's your goal. Yes, it's a big number, but the Total Money Makeover teaches that you don't have to hit this goal all at once. You can start small, with baby steps. In the book, Ramsey tells the story of a young couple who started by saving $1,000 and then gradually built their fund over time. They didn't have to stress about medical emergencies or sudden car breakdowns anymore. It just changed their lives. How to build an emergency fund: simple, practical tips. Building an emergency fund doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't need to feel overwhelming. Start with small, consistent steps. In The Total Money Makeover, Ramsey suggests setting a target date for your fund. Let's say your goal is to save $5,000 over the next year. Break that down. That's around $416 a month, or roughly $14 a day. See, that's much more manageable. Another tip is to set aside any lump sum you receive: tax refunds, bonuses, or even birthday gifts. You'll be amazed how quickly these small amounts add up when they're dedicated to one goal. Where should you keep your emergency fund? Now, where should you actually keep this money? The key here is liquidity. You need to be able to access it quickly in case of an emergency. Ramsey recommends keeping your emergency fund in a high-interest savings account or a money market account. The most important thing is that it's safe and you can get to it without penalties or taxes. And also keep it in mind, avoid risky investments like stocks for this fund. You don't want to gamble with your safety net. Secure your emergency fund: safety and accessibility. Protecting your emergency fund is just as important as building it. Don't let it get tangled up with investments, where its value could drop just when you need it most. In The Total Money Makeover, there's a great example of a family who mixed their emergency fund with their stock portfolio. When the market crashed, they lost a significant portion of the money they'd been saving for emergencies. Don't let that happen to you. Keep it separate, keep it safe. Emotional benefits of having an emergency. Finally, let's talk about the emotional side. Beyond the financial numbers, an emergency fund gives you peace of mind. There's nothing quite like knowing you're prepared, that if life throws you a curveball, you've got a cushion. This sense of security is priceless. It allows you to live without the constant fear of what if. Imagine living in a world where you no longer worry about what will happen if your car breaks down or if you lose your job. That's the power of an emergency fund. Conclusion, key takeaways. So, to recap, an emergency fund is your financial safety net. Aim to save 3 to 6 months of expenses, keep it in a liquid account, and start small if you need to, but start. Remember, as Dave Ramsey says, the emergency fund is your shield. It's not just about surviving an emergency, it's about thriving afterward, knowing that you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Thanks for watching. If this video helps you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more financial tips. And don't forget to share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Goodbye. See you in the next video.